Welcome to my channel, Tanglemire Gardens. My name is Nicola. Today what I'd like to talk to you about are Thalias. Not sure if you know anything about them. There doesn't seem to be a huge amount of information out there about them that I can find anyway. So I thought, I've been doing this for 35 years, this pond business, and I thought I might just tell you a little bit about these plants and how they can seriously help you when it comes to the filtration of your pond, and how it grows and how to care for it, because I haven't really found a lot of people telling you anything about that. So I just thought I'd give it a shot and see what you think. So thank you. Right, so one of the things with this plant, now this is a young red stem Thalia. Alright, now the roots are like this. Alright, this one's been growing in the ground. Now what I have found with these things is that when they're actually growing, these roots get very, very fine and they cover everything. It doesn't matter if they're covering plants that have gone dormant, so they're in their pots, they'll cover rocks, they'll just cover everything and they'll just get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Now for me, what I've done, knowing all of that, and I shall be showing you photos and things, I've placed them in pots at the back here, and I'm using them personally as a barrier against hopefully stopping people from throwing their fish into my ponds, which is what they tend to do from the park. And so when they get bigger, like this fella, alright, now even that's still only small. If you feed them enough, that is only small. But that probably is basically the normal sort of size that you would get in summer. I just haven't bothered cutting that stem down, it's already flowered. So here is a stand of Thalias, and the question is, when do you know when to cut them back? So you can see that this one here, some of the bigger leaves have started to go brown, and they've also started to tear, and that's because of the wind. So once a Thalia flowers, then it starts to actually, that stem will die off. And you can see all the green shoots underneath there. So that one that I'm shaking, that has flowered, and now the idea is to cut that off. Now these are the ones that are at the back of my lotus pond, and I deliberately kept them so that I could show you how to clean them up. So you can use a knife, but just be careful because they're very soft, and so it's quite easy to sort of slice yourself. Hence why I'm using secateurs. So just clean up all the dead leaves, take out any stem that is in the middle. You can see just down the bottom of that one there's actually a shoot on the left hand side and a shoot on the right hand side, and they're going to be your new plants. So take out the one in the middle because that's the one that has flowered. Sometimes you will get a situation where even younger ones have started to die off because of the cold. Just cut them off as well. Leave yourself all your little shoots so that they can then become new plants. Now while you're watching this, I thought I would just tell you, one time when I was dealing with Thalia delbata, which is a grey one, it had been used in wastewater management, and it was based in a dam at the base of a hill, and on the top of the hill was a cafe, quite a large one, and they'd used these Thalias for that. Now I was asked to clean them up. Now these Thalia stems grew as big as my leg. I swear you're not, from the knee down, of course, because I'm a reasonable large woman. But from the knee down, those Thalia stems were as thick as my leg, and they were probably 4 meters tall. They were just massive, absolutely massive, and it was because of all the nutrients they had. So here we are. Now this is how they look when they're all cleaned up, looking very neat and tidy. Now remember, they are water plants, so you can see that I've left a gap there in the pot so that when I give these a drink of water, there is actually a space there for the water to go, and it sinks down. They'll grow in damp ground, as you can obviously tell, but they'll definitely grow in water as well. So these are all looking very lovely, nice and neat and tidy, as I say. It is now the 22nd of July 2024, and these particular Thalias that I cleaned up earlier, this is how they are. We are in winter here on the Gold Coast, and we still have August to go, but I'll put up a photo of what they looked like in summer. So now this is an interesting thing. In 2016, that particular pond got a massive 6-meter long leak going right through, caused because of palm trees. And all of those fish, which were silver perch, had to come into this pond here. And you can now see what that Thalia has done to cater for that. It has grown so big, and that is because of the amount of nutrient in the pond for the fish. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to set up another Thalia pond. And so we've got to clean out all this. So Rowena's going to be really lovely. And she's going to go in there and clean this space out for me, so I don't have to do it. Yeah. Hang on. Trying to see through my Thalias here. Rowena is a marvel, really, because I just give her so many crappy jobs to do. And without a word, she just goes off and does them. It's not quite sure what I'd do without her. Poor girl. But she does do a lovely job of it. So what we're doing here is we're making space for this pot on the left-hand side there at the back. And we've got to move it into place. It is actually quite heavy. And maybe one day I might actually show you how to cover a plastic pot with concrete. But she's quite a heavy beast, this thing. Alright, put her on here. Get her on there. Let me get in. Right, ready? Yeah. And bring her over here. Wait a second. So we've got our pot in place. Here we go. And all we've got to do now is fill it with soil and put some Thalias in there. So what I'm doing here is I'm using some of the roots from dead Thalias, because they will grow straight over the top of each other. Thalias will die as they go through their season, and then they'll just grow straight over the top. So I just use dead roots to put in there. I've also put in some bags of zeolite that I had hanging around the place, and you can see that I've even used some clay balls because I just happen to have around. I got a bit enthusiastic here and brought down all of these bags, and then in the end didn't need them. So here I am now up at Mum's place. Now I'd been here a few days beforehand and spied all these Thalias up there on the hill, and I thought, brilliant, I'll go and save them. And when I come back, someone's mowed straight over the top of the poor little things. Look at that. How disastrous is that? So anyway, I dug them all up, and I think in the end I got about 7 plants from this place here. So at least I've been able to help them out and save them. Here I am worrying about the fact that these things are not going to last through summer because they're water plants. And because it's rained so much, they've seeded. Now granted, I don't know where the seeds have come from, because we have got no red Thalias here except one way over there somewhere. So eventually these would have died anyway, because they're up on a hill. But I never expected someone to come along and mow straight over the top of the poor little things. So it's lucky I'm here to save them. So we're going to take them home, and we're going to plant them in that pot that's down the back corner that I'm setting up, so that I can make a whole thing of red Thalias just looking like that. It's just going to look gorgeous. So they'll grow up big and beautiful now instead of dying, and it'll look lovely. Yeah, can't wait. Very good. So as I said, I got about 7 from my mum's place and about 5 from my own, not including the one that was in the garden, and that was because I didn't realise it was there. But I've decided to sort of leave it in the garden and just see how it goes. I don't actually expect it to do well, especially in summer when things start to dry out. So they are water plants. And I ended up putting, I think, about 3 in the pot that is actually in front of this one that you can't see, and then all the rest I placed in here. And then I also put some pink flamingo in here. I like pink flamingo. It's a way of hanging on to this plant. It likes to live in semi-shade. It will live in the sun, but it doesn't grow very well. The colours are not very good. It really doesn't like to do it. I've got it out the front with my pickerels, and it's not a happy chap there at all. But they look absolutely beautiful here, as you'll see in a moment. So it's just a case of cleaning them up and putting them in, and you just keep your water up to these plants and they'll just look absolutely amazing. I do occasionally feed them. I usually just throw in some of the, what do I throw in? Probably worm castings is a good one. Slow release fertilizer is another thing. I don't have to worry about algae, so I just chuck that on the top and then water it in. And they seem just fine. As you can see, all those very fine roots, this particular plant had grown over the top of its dead self. So you just clean all that off and put them into the mud. They love mud. And here again, it is the 22nd of July 2024, and this is what this particular tub looks like now. It is winter at the moment. It looks so much better in summer. So here's my little Thalia. Now this little Thalia grew unexpectedly down near the gate in amongst all the mulch. I have not had these plants on this property for absolutely years, and I'm astounded that this thing grew. And I think it's probably going to be a Thalia delbata, based on the way this little plant is looking, the way the leaves are. But I won't really know until it grows bigger, and then I'll be able to see how the leaves look, the overall standing of the plant is, and especially when it flowers. There are 6 varieties of Thalia that I've been able to find out about. I actually only have used a Thalia delbata, Thalia geniculata, I think that's how you pronounce it, and of course the red stem Thalia, which I understand is a cultivar of Thalia geniculata. So anyway, I wanted to see what this was going to do and who it was, because I think it's just going to be gorgeous. And they are quite a nice plant, and they're very structural plants, these things. So I just wanted to show you that I found a photo that's about 20 years old of a pond that I did, and it has the photo you see has 2 Thalias in it. The one on the left is Thalia geniculata, and the one on the right is Thalia delbata. When you actually see them together in real life, you will definitely be able to tell the difference between one and another. So anyway, oh, who's that? Beautiful butterfly. Now, is he going to stay long enough? Isn't it good? You've got a bit of wind here. Look at that. I wonder who he is. Wow. Oh, lovely. Oh, very good. Sorry. Anyway, yes. I'm sorry about that, but I just get myself so distracted with butterflies and damselflies and birds having baths and everything like that. So anyway, as you can see, I put some pink flamingo at the base of my plants, and I hope you liked the program, the video, and thank you, and come again.